do believe we're alive. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for embracing the struggle, right? For showing up for this thing we call life, even if it's not always easy. Maybe even especially since it's not easy, right? Making you even stronger. Today's stream topic for me is about embracing the struggle, honoring the struggle, taking pride, even though I don't know if the word taking pride should be something I should have in my vocabulary. I do take pride in doing hard things, and I feel it's helping me do more of it. Realizing that there are going to be things that we don't necessarily want to do, but that we can want to by virtue of wanting to do hard things, right? Gezondheid. Bless you. Almost like making it a prerequisite, understanding that I'm going to do something hard right now, and it's going to be hard. I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'm not going to want to continue. I'm going to want to find some sort of distraction so I can get away from it. And all of these things are okay, but I am actively getting better at doing hard things. And it's a process, obviously, right? You don't just wake up one morning and now suddenly hard things are easy. But become, right? And that's what I'm trying to encourage today is become powerful. Take pride, honor the struggle you're going through right now, seeing it as not something to lament about, but very much as something that's going to build your character. The story that is shaping your future, your destiny, if you will, right? Joy V, it's nice seeing you. Sam is here too. Shannon and Nana. Nancy, so early. Brother Ryan as well. It's nice having all of you friends here. Thumbnail looks like it's yelling at me in GTFO of the pedestrian lanes. The first one with like as soon as I start kind of like stick up the stream, it wants to take a screenshot or a picture for a thumbnail, and then it counts down, like 3 seconds, and then I have to like think about something to do, and I usually just pull a funny face. I'm happy, happy you liked it. I was on a trip yesterday, feeling a struggle to be proud. Hmm. Yeah, I'm imagining this paradox of you being like, yes, struggling makes me stronger, right? Because I'm doing something hard. And doing something hard is good. But I am struggling to feel good about myself doing something hard. So I'm going to feel good myself doing something hard, which is feeling good about myself doing something hard. So that I can feel good about myself doing something hard. Joy V, I'm sending you so much love. You want to share? Want to share what you're going through? Why are you feeling less than proud? What hard thing did you have to do that you felt you didn't enjoy? And is that why you're not feeling proud of yourself? Did you fail in your mind? Is that what you're not proud of yourself? I'm proud of you. Hey, talking about people we're proud of. Viking Queen is here too. Hey, Candace. It's nice having you, friend. Natalie is here as well. Sending you good vibes. Love and hugs received. Sending them back. Sending them back to you. I am currently, let's say, oiled up. I feel like out of all of the ways I could have said it, I had to choose the weird way. I don't know if I'm embarrassed, but I took a little cannabis oil before stream today. Well, technically before yoga. I knew it was going to be a sun practice, and I really wanted to melt into my own body, into what's hard, into the hard things. Like I'm noticing the things I'm writing down these days, and goodness, I don't know why I'm choosing doing the hard things. right? That the easy things are saturated, if you will. Everybody is doing the easy thing, right? So we get to stand out, at least for ourselves, from that perspective of honor, right? Pride in ourselves, being like, yeah, I'm gonna do the hard thing, whatever your hard thing is. And I think that's the beauty of it is things aren't always the same amount of hard, to say it. I'm so fucking sorry. I'm so sorry. Right? Like sometimes, for instance, like at least the last week, I've not had any issues with sugar, and I feel good about that. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I got sugar in the bag. Next week, who knows? Who knows? Maybe how strong I feel in myself about, my willingness to abstain from these things might be easy right now. Might not be, even though it is something that's hard in my mind. I'm finding it easy to do the hard thing because I'm taking pride in doing the hard thing. And then next week, I might, end up falling for the easy thing, the cheap, non-nutrient dense calories, to say it in so many ways as well. And then I'm gonna have to be faced with the hard problem of dealing with my own scrutiny. Oh, that just surviving your own mental battle is something to be proud of because it is hard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How about that one? Mm-mm-mm. That was Joe. I didn't say anything. I call Jovan Joe as well. Did I not do that? Excuse me if I didn't. The weird way is fun. Makes for a more interesting story. Thank you, Natalie. I'm happy that you're appreciating it. Doing much better on this end. Still having ups and down moments, but this is expected. We had a 2015 town and country donated to us. Is a town and country a car? Because the only reason I'm thinking it's a car is because of the date stamp, right? People usually talk about cars that way. Oh, it's a 2050 Cadillac or 2006, Maserati, whatever, whatever. I'm not sure. Estian yoga oiled up. Don't forget the. I mean, I think that's exactly what I did. I took a little bit, maybe even too much cannabis oil, and then went into yoga. And I was considering today's stream topic, what I'm supposed to say, how I'm supposed to give the feeling, right? That is what we're doing when we're trying to communicate with one another. And I've noticed how this pattern has been arising recently that we communicate to make other people feel the way we do, right? And yesterday I said something that has been bothering me, right? I mentioned something about it being harder for me to love, or at least the way that I would consider it. And I could feel like there's some tension in my mind just thinking about it, even. And I want to specify that it's very much of my family right now, where more and more of my time is spent alone, and I feel like that is the way it's supposed to be right now, at least. We shared from this perspective of mirroring, right? That every single one of us technically comes from the same source. And the more you realize you are that source, I feel the more clear you become as a mirror to be able to reflect back the light that people are projecting towards you. And at this moment in time, I don't feel there's ants eating me. I don't feel like I can talk to my family, in a way that I feel seen by them. I can feel a reflection happening. It usually just feels like some layer of ego, you know, Like there is some layer of their ego not wanting to believe my ego, some layer of their ego wanting to be right, wanting to be autonomous, wanting to be the one above my ego, if you will. And it makes it very hard to communicate because if you feel like the other person isn't listening to you, they're building narratives in their heads to try and defeat you when your communication isn't coming from a perspective of trying to convince them or trying to change their point of view, but as a reminder, as a this is something to pay attention to. This is important right now, right? Like the future we're heading into is going to expect certain skills of us. And skills are one of those things that you can only build by building them. Isn't that right? You have to train your skills in order to have them. And yeah, I I don't think it's bad. I think it's a struggle, right? I do think it's a struggle. But I also feel like, again, within the context of today's stream topic, that it is something that I'm going to be honoring. I'll still be myself. I'll still show up with the same amount of presence, or at least I'd hope to. But I'm not going to be giving as much of myself, right? From this perspective of light unreflected can make you feel like you're cast into darkness. To just kind of keep to myself a little bit more, knowing that there are people that would actually appreciate me sharing it. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here in this moment right now, for allowing me this moment. Hopeful to hear. You're really choosing your words and phrases this morning, Malte. I'm sorry, Joy V. And I was like joking with myself about thinking about the topic in the first place. Hey, Mile Rodriguez, Ro, Rodriguez, yeah, I was thinking about it as well during yoga. I was like, yeah, the future generation is gonna make fun of me for this, and then I ended up making fun of myself for technically being the future generation of myself as I was thinking in the past about this version of me. Right? I was thinking about what next gen is supposed to mean. Next gen, the next generation. You, all of us, are the next generation of human beings. We've been the human being that is uninformed, doesn't have access to internet information, doesn't have access to other people, communication, right? Either through language barrier or through distance, right? Like sound can only travel so far. We had to shout at each other or use our little feetsies to get closer to one another to be able to speak. And now we can speak from anywhere in the world. We have fundamentally shifted what it means to live as a human being on Earth. And that's going to come with some challenges of its own, right? Struggles of its own. And every generation comes with some type of struggle. Fortunately, I don't believe struggle in the future will be a resources one. I don't think it's going to be a equality struggle. I think it's going to be a happiness struggle. Unfortunately, the equality struggle comes attached to the happiness struggle, but people misplace their attention, right? Health, wealth, happiness, relationships. Those apparently are the most important human needs. And sure, it can piss us off if there is a ill distribution of wealth, but there's a satiety point for how much wealth you need to actually be healthy and be happy, to be able to maintain your relationships. And I feel the wealth issue is being solved right now, right? Just in that sentence, there's now more money in the world than there was before that sentence started, and now more still. And there's now more money, still more wealth now being generated actively. Right? That's pretty trippy. That is pretty trippy. So wealth should be something we're okay with. Health, we're going to 100% be pretty creative with the way that we approach health over the next 20 years. Our doctors are going to become artificially intelligent machines capable of imaging and then analyzing faster and with more accuracy than any human being could ever have wished to. Then, alongside that, we're going to be manipulating, working with, and changing our DNA, making sure that we stop dying of cancer. 1 in 5 people, apparently that's the number. 1 in 5 people die of cancer. It's almost absurd, right? And it's in every single one of us. It's when your human cells kind of take a mind of their own and decide, yeah, we're just gonna keep duplicating actually, and then it kills you. And we already have some cool immunotherapy, treatments that melt, the cancer, the tumors. So that's going to be something I believe we'll take care of as well. So we got wealth, we got health, and then we're left with the two hardest ones: happiness and relationships, right? And I feel that's going to be our real struggle. We'll have so much abundance, we'll have so much technology to keep ourselves healthy, even if it's just knowing that it's good for you to exercise and eat good food, right? As a technology, as a mean to take better care of yourself. Then there is also the other side of it, the fact that all of this technology, all of this abundance, all of this health is going to, I don't want to say is going to, but has the potential to isolate us from one another. That you might see some sort of benefit in being alone because technically, statistically, it allows you to be healthier. I see you, Suzanne. Thank you for joining us. So, our relationships with one another is going to be different, right? To the relationships we've had. I mean, the thing about the relationship we have with one another across the world, and yet there is a relationship, and we have cultivated it through our pieces of technology. And then there's the question of happiness, right? I do feel a genuine state of happiness spending time in this space with you friends like this. And I would like to believe that you friends experience happiness here as well. Sometimes maybe less, sometimes maybe more. I feel like that's one of the serendipities that happens in the stream as well for both of us, right? Sometimes I'm more happy, sometimes you're more happy. And because we're coming into this space together to share happiness by extension, or happiness as an extension of love, right? Happiness is beget if you actually show up for love. It is this loop, this loop in my mind of how do we take care of ourselves? How do we take care of society? How do we take care of humanity when all of our perceived problems are solved, right? When the problems we can point at and be like, yes, look at this thing that's broken, right? DNA, economies, inequalities, health inequalities, like no access to medical centers or no access to a doctor close by. We can point at these things and think about some plan of action to make sure that problem is solved. But how do you point at relationships, right? How do you point at something in your relationships? How do you point at the whole of it, all of the time spent, every single word said? How do you point at your happiness? How do you point at that feeling? Where it arises from, what the conditions need to be. All of us technically know what it feels like, And yet it is something that's ethereal. And trying to pursue happiness as a thing that you need, right? I need to be happy in order to be happy. Then you inadvertently destroy that happiness for yourself, because as soon as you start seeking something, there is a level of admitting that it's outside of yourself, right? Happiness isn't anywhere other than where you are. And it kind of like attaches to the whole boredom question to me, where boredom is only something that arises by you not paying enough attention. If you had all of the information available to you that is being inputted into you at any time, then we would pretty much lose our minds. Sherry Sands, you cute. It's nice having you here, Sherry. I I look like this. I forgot I was a person for a second. Why did you do that? It's nice having you here. Not gonna lie, Mel. When I cut down on my sugar intake, I was your age. I still had sugar with my caffeine, which was the bigger addiction that I never saw myself getting rid of. Mmm, that's real. Mmm. Oh, that's sip of water. Oh, that was a nice sip of water. It like really. Ah, I'm going to love this water some more. What's the intention of my strength? Yeah, strength, strength, strong, so strong, so strong. Superpowers. I'm flying. I'm shooting through the air, melting atoms apart. Yeah, no, it's a superpower water. If you could invent a glitter that didn't pollute the water with microplastics, I would be so happy. I think they already did. They already did. Hey Google, are there any biodegradable glitter? Yeah, bioglitter is a unique type of glitter that uses plant-derived, regenerated eucalyptus cellulose. It is the only glitter proven to biodegrade into harmless particles once it gets in contact with the natural environment. How about that? The more you know. Come to the Meltmore show. You might learn about bioglitter. You might learn about bioglitter. Oh goodness. Okay. So awesome to see the goodness if you allowing the world to express its goodness. Yeah, you are the goodness that is being expressed into the world first and foremost, right? It's like sometimes the struggle will be the fact that there's gonna be less than goodness in the world. We're gonna get hurt by things, even small things. For instance, right? And this is something I can share from an ego perspective. My brother has been standing next to me, barbecuing meat this whole time, and I saw him leave, and now he's back with earphones in his ears because he doesn't want to hear me, right? So this is a struggle. This is the struggle that people do not want to listen to me. Like they actually don't. Like they actively avoid listening to me. It needs to be my struggle so that I can still be loving, right? I can see this lack of wanting to give me that attention, wanting to give me the time of day, wanting to just listen to the things I have to say, right? And instead of hurting myself actively about it, I can choose as a participant in this world to be the listener, to be the one that participates, to be the one that chooses to share love, even if I feel like it's not what's being reflected in any moment. Right? That struggle is also one that I'm talking about today with the becoming proud of your struggle. In order for that future to have room to come, what is present now will have to be completely dismantled, and the health of the plebs is not a reason for the upper class to stop what it's doing. This is true, Sam, but we're thinking in decade time frames. Right? I feel like that is something I almost wanna like have as like a little asterisk. Melt likes to talk about things in decade time frames. when I start ranting about the future, right? The future isn't tomorrow. Technically, it is, but the future is coming. And where we place our attention is where we go, right? All of us can kind of agree on that. If I place my attention on a tree there in the distance, and I'm like, oh, I want to see what that tree looks like, that fractal, right, looks like, then I can walk up to that tree, and in my future, I will be in that position to stand in front of the tree looking at it. You see the analogy I'm drawing? So I think of envisioning, imagining, believing in a beautiful future as that as a practice. We are actively choosing to imagine the future we want to see, and then in doing so, little by little. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. I appreciate the love. I am a person. I am. I am a person. I do not consider myself cute. I consider Pippi cute. Maybe to like some sort of alien species, I would be cute. Maybe to you, I'm cute. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. But even though cuteness is a thing, it's not my struggle, right? At least not permanently. Unfortunately, the the process of working on yourself when it comes to like physical fitness can also be a dysmorphic one. Is that the right way? Hey Google, define dysmorphic. Dysmorphic feature. Nope. That's definitely not what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about body dysmorphia, and I was like kind of trying to be coy. Body dysmorphia is basically when you look at yourself in the mirror, and even though you might not be, let me backtrack. You might look at yourself in the mirror, and even though what it is you see is not bad, you will tell yourself it is. Right? That's the I'm trying to make it vague enough to see different people's perspective on body dysmorphia as well. And for people that start working on fitness, and this is something that I feel like needs to be talked about more, especially in the fitness industry. Like these super fit people you see on YouTube, Instagram, that are like shredded to the point of their abs being able to cut diamonds and stuff. Even though that looks good aesthetically, and a part of me would like to, at least for like a month out of the year, for example, look that way. It very much is something that's hard to sustain. And when you stop sustaining it, it creates these negative reintroduction cases where you form eating disorders and you just end up binging yourself back into an unhealthy state of being. And then if you do that, I have a kitty with me. There's a kitty. And if you do that, then you gain weight, and then you go again through the body dysmorphia of like looking at yourself, and then not finding yourself cute, to say it in so many words, right? Telling yourself that you are a bridge troll when you gain 4 pounds. You're like, how dare you? What? Look at yourself. Is this who you want to be? And then and yeah, see, like I feel that is the thing that kind of makes me understand why people avoid exercise altogether. Because it's this weird pain, right? Again, it's a struggle that we kind of go on. You can either be a part of the struggle, if you will, of feeling there's nothing you can do, right? Like I used to be there as well at one point in my life. Like there was like a certain defeatist acceptance of my overweightedness. Like I weighed 220 pounds as a 16-year-old. And I was like, yeah, this is just how it is. And then I reached a level of starting to feel unhealthy and noticing that I'm impeding my own movement. And then I decided to change. And then that change brought about different pain. Mm. So I think maybe that's the thing again. That's the point I'm trying to make of today's stream topic, is that we're going to struggle in so many ways, and that's okay. Not only is it okay, but it is something that we should embrace in a way where we're like proud of ourselves for being like, "Hey, I freaking struggled through that shit. I did. I made the most of it. I showed up Chloe phobic. It's nice having you here. Like your username is making me think about a friend of mine, Christian. I don't know if he would like me sharing this. I don't think he would mind that much. But he had this ex called Chloe, and Chloe was beautifully intelligent, but really liked the fact that she was beautifully intelligent. And as a result, felt herself too intelligent to be with this friend of mine. And she really hurt him. And now I'm Chloe phobic. Little fractal. Sending you love. You might not even be here, but it's nice having you nonetheless. I have purchased my yoga. I have purchased my yoga mat and will be present tomorrow morning. I needed to sleep this morning. Sleep as much as you need, Dad. It's Sunday. I'm happy that you took some rest for yourself. We'll see you tomorrow, dude. Mm-mm-mm. Oh yeah, and Sam, the point I was trying to make, I guess, with that whole rant, is that taking care of the people's health is a economic win in the long run. Like the big business people save more money with less sick people than they do making money off of more sick people, right? Because it just becomes an ecological nightmare. The logistics of it, it's just not fun. Like there's gonna be many other ways to make money, and we're basically going to have infinite economy in the future. You're like, Mel, that doesn't make any sense. How can we have infinite economy? Because the economy as it is right now is intrinsically tied to you as a human being able to generate capital for said economy. And in the next 10 years, amongst us will walk humanoid robots that can double and then triple and then quadruple and then pentuple and then all of the other apples our economy. Right? And then where are we gonna be? What are we gonna do? Relationships, happiness, or health, surely too. But wealth isn't gonna be our issue, at least not for a while. I enjoy being alone with myself, and that's so healthy as well because most of your time will be spent by yourself. I'm not saying that it's bad, I'm just saying that it's healthy to have relationships, right? It's been proven. So it's about, and it's healthy to be in a good relationship with yourself as well, right? Having an enjoyment of self alone time. I also do enjoy my alone time, but I usually feel guilty about it or selfish for wanting alone time. And these days, I feel like I don't, and that feels like a struggle that I'm overcoming. I'm proud of myself for overcoming that struggle. What kind of mat did you end up going with? Maybe we'll see it. I just ended up going to the local Meyer and picking up decent reversible one. Nothing special, but suitable. Fortunately, nothing special but suitable does the job. Very much so. Can't wait to join. It's gonna be nice. You'll need to make sure you have plenty of padding under for your knees if they get sensitive. We don't spend that much time on our knees. I mean, like the moon salutations are a little bit rough. I'll give you that. But the cat or the down dog cows, you kind of have like arm support for your knees. But the moon salutations, you're basically in like a child's pose, arms stretched out forward on your knees, and your feet are like firm on the ground, and then from that, laying down, knees on the ground, forward, like a little drop, like that kind of shape. You lift your arms all the way up, stand up on your knees, and then you bring it back down. All right, Sam. Thank you for saying that to our friends. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It's going to be in the playroom, carpeted. Yeah, you're gonna be so fine then. No, Sherry, you cute. Thank you, Joy V. Well, that's what we need. Being alone once in a while is okay, but chronic loneliness is as bad as smoking a pack a day. Yeah, fortunately, I wonder if this helps. I wonder in this study of like smoking a pack a day, not being able to, spend time with people. I wonder if that would facilitate, if you will, you know, uh, correlative data when you pay attention to what something like this does for us, maybe, right? Maybe like we're only smoking half packs of cigarettes since we get this, or something. I don't know. Susan again, it's nice seeing you, friend. Don't tell me. I smoke pot and I'm alone chronically. I wouldn't consider myself lonely, not alone. Yeah, I feel you. I would consider myself lonely, not alone. That's what I consider myself these days. A little bit at least as well. Maybe Johan will visit us at some point. Christian too. You're not talking to him, so why should he be listening? Stop taking every single. I'm not taking it personally, JV. I'm showing you the story my ego tells me, right? Like I feel like that is the insanity that I can't get past. It's like I'm painfully aware that there's this ego version of me, right? I'm watching it constantly from the perspective of the observer. And then I see something in my environment, right? As the observed, as a part of this fractal, as myself, right? As the thing that I consider myself, the ego that is outside of myself, right? The eco consciousness, right? And then I can watch it, and it's like skibbity babbity, and then I can share what that little skibbity baby is, so that we can be like, is that a true story? Is that something I should believe? Or am I going to continue being loving regardless? All right, that's the whole point of the stream for me. It's like paying attention, almost like dragging out into the light my ego, and then watching it melt and be like, yeah, get wrecked. And then afterwards, I scoop it into a tank, and then I have an injection mold that I actively cater for. I give it new textures, new little shapes, and then I put all of my old ego back into a new shape. And then I try on that new shape for a spin. And then the next day we drag it out again into the light, and then it melts. And then we start all over again. Maybe eventually through trial and error, through prototyping the ego, we'll be able to find the ideal one, right? The ideal story we should be telling ourselves to actually have a good life, because that's all your ego really needs, right? It's your story. Oh, this thing happened to me, and then that thing happened to me, and then I started developing these behaviors, and now this is who I am because of an enemy. Hello, Suzanne. I believe I'm doing well. I've been awake for a solid 10 minutes, but on my way to good you. I'm happy to just have you here, dude. Like, the fact that this is how you're starting your day. Apparently, one of the most important things about starting your day is the first hour of it, right? So I'm really taking that as a compliment, one, and also a deep responsibility. Hopefully I can make your day, even better, getting you started off this way. Thank you for all of the love, Sherry. I registered to be in a mud run in September. Gotta be fun. You're stronger than me, Candace. I don't know if I want to be running in mud. Not so much for any other reason that, like, I don't like. I, me and mud have a very interesting relationship with one another. Like I feel like I'm only okay with mud if there is a means for me to quickly get it off of me. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, I don't want to be dirty. And then if I get dirty and I have to stay dirty, then shh, I think you're gonna have a fun time. It's gonna be good, Candace. Mud run. Do send us photos if you can. What is that? Thing they're running through mud. You know, I've seen some of them that have like these obstacle courses where you have to like leopard crawl through the mud, and that's where I'm like I draw lines. I'm like nah. I have to be on all fours in mud. Nah, nah, it's not funny. I've got school. I got a rugged maniac race last year. It was a blast. Yeep, it's so excited for you. Gonna have fun. Oh, sure, well, thank you for sharing that excitement, Siobhan. I think I'd probably do a mud run with all of you friends. But going out somewhere and doing one myself, oh, hell no. I'm not doing that. Like, you know what the worst part is? You friends can come with me wherever I go. So now I'm seeing a fractal where penalty I'm taking disrespect on the constant bridge troll blasting me when my body is in a perfect bridge troll shape and build. I would be the hottest bridge troll under the bridge. You see now that is the mentality we need. Yeah. It's like sure, my mind is telling me I'm a bridge troll, but I'm the hottest fucking bridge troll under the bridge. Yeah. That's so perfect. I love that, Doug. That man, I signed up for the one in my area this year. It's so fun. I wanted to do it again after it was over. You'll love it. JV, so much encouragement. Bridge troll, serve a valuable purpose. Who else is going to maintain those things? The kingdom? You know. Where all the gold is going, of course. Go to Missouri, Kansas, 1 September. We'll combine our powers and rule the course. I don't know how far away Missouri, Kansas is from where Jovan is. Mm, might be a matter of distance. Bridge is tip top shape. I limit children. I limit myself to children eating at the minimum. Only if I get really peckish, and I want to take good care of my health. Get Viking in my 20s, I would have been right there with you. They do look fun. Duck Dad, we'll still do it, dude. We'll make like a little bit more vanilla for the 30 ups. And I'll do it like when I'm in my 30s. You can be in like your 40s or something. Susanna, I just picture you with old school tall booth outfit. Sherry, have you no shame? None of us have any shame. Are you dating? No, I'm not. Like I'm not dating anyone. Period. And also, I'm not dating anyone. Period. I don't have time. I don't have time. I feel like I'm losing my mind most days, and I need to get that shit under control first. Everything. I need to get all my shit in a bag, so it's in the bag, and I know where it is, and then maybe I can consider walking the road of a relationship. But that will probably be in my 30s. Got like half a decade or so, maybe like a whole ass decade in me before I think I'll really be ready for a settling down type of relationship. Oh goodness, I want to, and I do, because like I can feel it as a psychological moment, like yeah. But I don't want to be calm. I can't afford to be calm. I need to be hyper alert. Losing my mind, right at the brink of losing my mind. Right, that criticality. Apparently, that's where most of the good stuff comes from. Right on the edge, right on the edge of sanity and insanity. Right, where you don't actually know. You're like, is this person insane? Nah, they're pretty coherent. They're they're really good at explaining why they're not insane by sounding insane. Oh goodness. Belief. I guess it's about belief, right? That's the thing for me. Is that we have as a collective believe in things that to me seem like insanity. And I feel like the insane one sometimes for believing differently. And I don't think I'm special in it. I think all of us believe differently, right? Like that's why we're coming together. It's why we've noticed that we are not happy with how things have been. We want to see the change actually. And that gives me a deep sense of hope. What about edibles? I'm on edibles right now. I feel kind of clear, but I might be sounding like a rambling madman. Who knows? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Doo-doo. JV, you gotta shoot your shot, bruh. Yeah, she's shooting. Pew, pew, pew. I'm shooting love back to you, Sherry. You are loved, right? Think about that. This moment would not be happening if not for loved one, right? And then going back into the past, you wouldn't have existed, one, if not for love, and you wouldn't have continued to exist to have this moment if not for love. And then going into the future, if you show up for love, you're going to find even more of that love. All right. So that's what we're encouraging. Be, be the love you want to see. All right. But I, I don't like being sexualized. All right. I mean, I guess it's okay to feel desirable as much as any other person would like to. Kind of messes with my brain, right? Like it kind of puts me in a different state of mind. I'm like, oh yes, what it means to be happy. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a human being and I have a penis. That's fucking odd, yo. I have like it's like this larger problem in the human psyche that I'm considering, and then I'm like, oh yeah, human beings. Remember this thing attached to this massive infinity psyche that we're a part of. Fingers. You see what I'm doing? You see what I mean? State of mind. Now I'm like, what the hell? Oh, why did we choose to look this way? Out of all of the things, we had to be like this. No shot to shoot needed. Melty loves me. You see, Joy Viv isn't shooting shots. She's just making assumptions. She's actually practicing the information that I'm, suggesting. Live into the assumed reality. Playing the long game. I see. She knows. Yes, I got my reflectors on. Thank you for reflecting all of that light. I don't want to start another thirst trap, ladies and gentlemen. I'm wearing my soil mixing apron. And only my soil mixing apron. Ah! Ooh! Ah! Why? Doctor, you better be sorry, dude. Question: has anyone tried kratom? I haven't. I've heard good things. Apparently, it's another opioid stimulant, right? Hey, Google, on what neuroreceptors does kratom act? Hmm. Nah. On what neuroreceptors does kratom work? Work? Uh, mm, 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 mm. There we go. While kratom is most commonly known for its affinity to the opioid receptors, it also has an affinity to serotonin and dopamine receptors, signaling its potential for treatment in depression, anxiety, and psychosis. Yeah. But it can be addictive, like anything that has to do with opioid receptors, because your brain is like, yeah, I like feeling this way. How about it? How about you do it again? And then it's like, yeah, let's do it, you know, a tenth, a 20th of a gram more. And it's like, yeah, this still feels kind of nice. And then again, and then again, and then it goes a week, and then a month, and then a year. And then you find yourself in a space where just to feel like a human being, now you need kratom, right? And it's a leaf. It's a little leaf that gets chopped up fine, and then you drink it like a sludge, right? I haven't tried Kratom. I would like to try it, right? Because it's a plant chemical, and I'm curious about these things. But I do also feel like if we do it too regularly, it just becomes another normal, right? Too much of anything is bad for you. And I feel all of our substances should accentuate our human experience, not allow them, right? It should just be a flavor enhancer, not the whole meal, to say it in so many words. I purchased some and took one day and nothing. Took two the next day and nothing. Day three I took three and still nothing. Did you get any effects from Kratom? I'm sorry to hear that it's not affecting you. That sounds like it sucks even more. I got the mood enhancing ones. Okay. I'm a total outlier for the statistical substance, but I tried a similar microdose of mushrooms. Much prefer the mushrooms. Yeah, I'm also more pro shrooms because it acts on less addictive pathways. Serotonin, fortunately, isn't as addictive, right? If you take psychedelics excessively, you're gonna start having a bad time because you're going to get into loops of information you already know, and it's like being stuck in that experience of I know I'm supposed to do something, but I feel unable to do it, right? Because you're so overwhelmed with knowing how much you're supposed to do something and then being unable to do it. And the drugs tell you to stop doing the drugs with serotonin, right? Where opioids, that kind of like takes the pain away, doesn't give you any more pain. I'm getting some freaking suffering from the sunlight right now. We were talking about, embracing the struggle, so I'm gonna sit in the sun. I'm gonna get cooked. I probably should just hide my arms so I don't get burnt. My face got burnt a little bit today. Mm-mm-mm. Do. Weed makes me think of burnt popcorn and hair. Hmm. I've never. Weed makes me think of burnt popcorn and hair. I'm not sure what weed you've experienced yet, right? That was like the most confusing weed makes me think of, and then words afterwards. I was like, what the? I spent $30 on a bag of 175 capsules. I wouldn't recommend you keep taking more until you feel something. That might not be good because even though you might not be experiencing the effects thereof, they might still have some sort of, a bodily effect. And I don't know if there's any lethal dose for Kratom. I'm not a medical expert. I'm just some dude. I'm just some dude sitting on grass. Right? That's my title. Uh-uh. It's like it won't stop. What about edibles? Those seem to be my vice, lady. I like edibles as well. I haven't been taking them that much. It's been like a little bit more than a week for me since the last time. The last time I did it, I think I took the edible oil too late, and I woke up the next day still feeling all wonky. And yeah, I don't know if that's great. Yeah, Sherry, you keep saying my name. And then like sending some hearts. I appreciate that. Like you could have a whole ass conversation with me, right? Tell me what you're about, right? That's a good step to help me fall in love with you. I already love you, right? Just for the fact of your existence. But maybe you like, maybe you have a cat that you dearly adore. Maybe his name is Whiskers or whatever, right? That's like, please, like I want to make this very clear. I am not to be idolized. I don't even idolize myself. I idolize the part of us that is aware, right? The part of ours that is beyond just this fleshy part, that is beyond mind, that is beyond words. There is something in every single one of us, that awareness, right? The awareness that you have to be aware of this moment. That is the thing to be idolized. Your awareness, your I am, right? And anything you notice in that I am, right? I am seeing melt. It starts with the I am that is you. It is you first. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm just going to up there. No, please. I don't think that's a good idea. I would make little songs and dance to it. It's pronounced kratom. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Because I've heard so many people say it in so many different ways. Don't encourage her melt. I'm not trying to encourage anything. I'm trying to pretend like it's not happening. It's what's happening in my mind right now, Johnny. I'm just yeah. Okay, I'm putting it down. I've walked the edge many times. I have a half. I'm saving to make some edibles, but I have zero patience to make them. The best way, in my mind, that is the simplest as well, is to. I shouldn't probably give these instructions. Yeah, I can do it kind of like under the radar. You take your earth and then you subject it to not too high temperature, not too low temperature for a few moments, 40 minutes of it, right? Helping activate, turning parts of the earth into a more active form of itself. And then, just in a single little pot, this is the easiest way, and it's pretty effective. You take the oil you want to use. I like to use coconut oil. And then you take 3 times, maybe 4 times as much water, as much oil as you want to use. And then you put it all in the same pot. And your earth isn't soluble by water, but it is soluble in oil. So then you kind of just leave it, it'll lose some of that water, and then you'll be able to take, like maybe just like with basic straining, take that oil and then put it with the water again into a container. And then you put that container with the water underneath it into the fridge. And then all of the heavy particulates of your earth will sink to the bottom of your oil, and you'll have a clear oil at the top after it like completely solidifies. And then you can kind of like just push it out, drain the water away, and then you'll see there's like some brown particulate at the bottom of your oil. And then you can either scrape that off or rinse it under medium warm water. That seems to be the best way for me. Also because it's less of a hassle with like the time commitment, I guess. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It makes me uncomfortable. You can say that. If it makes you uncomfortable, you can just say that. Yeah, I did. I did say that. Pronounced. It would be a little song. Funny, the drugs have never told me to stop doing the drugs. You haven't been listening. Yeah, like and it's because although you're probably not overdoing it, right? Like maybe you have been listening. Maybe you haven't reached a point where the drugs need to tell you to like chillax, right? For some people, it's an everyday, all day kind of thing, Joy V. I feel like that's what's crazy. And in a weird way, I think I'm one of those people because I like to drink caffeine, right? That's a drug. And we are very much an everyday, all day type of people with caffeine already. It's like coded into our DNA, into our civilization right now to be constantly consuming something. And all I'm saying is balance. We get balance. Yo, the sun is healing my back. Yes, that's what's happening. I'm getting healed by all of this radiant light. I spent 30 bucks on a bag of 175 capsules. I don't know if that's too expensive. Wow, Mal, you just described perfectly the body in its threat state. I did. I hope it helped. I need a lot of help. Joy mods included. I agree. I would like, I think maybe it'll be better just to wait for AI to kind of get to that point. But being able to, for instance, edit these streams, like for instance, so Susanna saying that I said something that resonated with her. Being able to notice Susanna being like, yeah, this is something nice. And then that AI bloop, bloop, cutting that stream because it's already online. And then taking that segment and being able to re upload it. Some people use editors. Some people do it themselves. Some people are too lazy to. Or, maybe I'll take the more virtuous, you know, answer and be like, nah, actually, I'm not lazy. I just cringe having to listen to myself. I really do. I I sound juvenile to myself when I listen to myself. I'm like, it's so weird. It's so odd because the awareness part of me feels older and is on a metaphysical level older than the version of myself that I'm listening to. And it always trips me out. It's not even, I don't mind the sound of my voice anymore, at least. I don't mind the sound of, when I'm tripping out, I'm tripping out. I don't mind the sounds I make. It's just, it's almost like the energy. It's like the energy feels different. Different. The reflection is almost too real. Thank you, Javiv. I do agree about the mods. I do agree. That it is VQ. Just asked Javiv how that approach worked for her. Whiskers. So love you. Thank you. Love you too. I'm out of mushies. I need to wait till I get paid on Tuesday to re up. Maybe wait with the mushies. Right? Mushies for some reason, for me at least, only get better the longer I abstain from them. All psychedelics tend to be that way. It's like a specialness curve. The longer you go not taking psychedelics, the more special they get. And then you take them and it kind of like drops. And if you take them again really recently after that, it drops again. And then it's just like kind of low hum. Oh, nice. I'm myself, but I'm enjoying my TV show twice as much. I think I don't know. I think I fucking don't know. I know. I do it too sometimes. And then I'm like, yeah, maybe taking psychedelics should only be done like at least 2 weeks apart from each other. At least 2 weeks apart. Ideally, 2 months. Romantically, only 4 times a year. Like with the seasons. You'd be like, yeah, change the seasons. Change myself. I think someone loosed a bot. That's probably a person, Joy Beef. I don't think bots are that enthusiastic. Weirdly enough, YouTube did ask me if I want to enable some sort of not monetization, uh, moderation feature that keeps spazzy messages, or inappropriate messages to the side or something, up for review. Is that a Isaac I see? Well, Isaac, dude, dropping wins. Thank you for dropping some wins. Committing sins? Never. Not here, dude. Here we just sit and drink water. We have chats. The fattest of chats about all of the things. Mm, I'm from Kansas City, in the Paris of the Plains, city of fountains, and so on and so forth. Our prime exports are barbecue and craft beer, and our local celebrity is Paul Rudd. Hey Google, show me Paul Rudd. Holy shit, they just opened a video. Okay, I know who Paul Rudd is. Like they went, holy shit, that was almost too much for me to process now. They went they went straight to opening a short video where Paul Rudd's face was actively talking, and I was just expecting some photos. Uh, I'm missing some. Goodness. Yeah. Okay. Are we making isolate? No, we were just making uh extract, I guess. ADHD cocktails, weed and caffeine all day. Bipolar cocktails, lithium, 750 milligrams once a day. That's a lot of lithium. Sometimes when you procrastinate, you can call yourself lazy. Truthfully, is your body in the threat state? It's true. Yeah, it's like your Your body sees the activity, right? Studying, going and writing your test as something that causes you to feel ways that the human body feel when it's under attack. So it avoids that state. It avoids the studying. It avoids the doing meaningful work, not because you're lazy, but because you are literally trying to defend yourself from this emotion, this bodily perception that this is something that's dangerous, right? Because you get yourself so worked up about how important this thing is that it becomes dangerous to not take it seriously, making that danger something that you should take seriously and stay away from. And then it begets the generation that we are and how we struggle with our schoolwork. Mm-mm-mm. Susanna, when I was originally diagnosed, they tried to tell me I was bipolar and treated me as such. Lithium and Depakote. I don't know how I functioned. I was a sleeping zombie. My enthusiasm was misconstrued as manic. Yo, I like your enthusiasm, Duck Dad. I don't think that you're flip flopping too much, dude. Not manic at all. I'm gonna move this thing again. The sun, so much sunlight. No one has things to cook. Okay, it's not too hot at least. Oh my goodness, Duck Dad. D Pacote was awful, and I couldn't stay on it more than a month. I'm happy that you didn't as well. I'm so sorry that happened, Duck. Sometimes they started with trying to make us manageable instead of respecting us as human beings. Exactly. Right? They were literally giving orphans tranquilizers to make them easier to deal with. Giving people tranquilizers. Like that's so absurd. Mm, how are y'all? Doc Dad, we're nice, dude. Thank you for joining us. Isaac, how are you? How's Jazzy? How's little Scott doing? How's life on your side? Sad or melt? Melt. All right, melt. Like seriously, melt your attachment first. First. I can't give anything to you that you don't already have, dear friend. You are the infinity, right? I am just a reminder, a reflection, the other side of the mirror. You. I'm all right, Isaac. One more class to go on Wednesday. How are you feeling, friend? I'm happy to hear that. Sam, my local celebrity is Ron Swanson. I know who Ron Swanson is, even though I don't think Ron Swanson is actually a real person. I know who Ron Swanson is. Flipping Ron Swanson. Mm, that's hilarious. That's so sick. Congratulations. I hope it goes well and that you're recognizing this wonderful growth. Proud of you, friend. Thank you, Isaac, for sharing that. I'm doing good. I've been a nice It's been a nice, empty, restful weekend. Today, we're taking Scout on a hike. Jesse worked so hard all day on papers to get free for today, so that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to hearing about if you're willing to share next time, dude. To season 2 of my D&D campaign was super fun on Friday as well. It's been a blast seeing them have fun. My brother joined in along with some friends here, so two worlds colliding. And like you and your brother, and like your whole family, like played D&D together, right? So, like I feel one of the coolest things about getting people to play D&D with you is that they actually know how to play D&D for one. They actually want that, creative juice and they can kind of like live into it. And I'm guessing that you haven't been the one to be the DM the way that you are right now because your dad usually DMs, right? So maybe that's what you mean if the world's colliding. I'm very excited and proud of myself for everything that I've been able to accomplish and overcome within this last year. Never would have thought I'd be where I am now. You friends have been such a blessing, as you have been a blessing to us, dear Shan. I hope you remember that reflection. You are that to us, that feeling, right? That love. Lolo here as well, just in time to pull a card. Oh, thank you, Joy V, for saying love to our friend. We have a Sangha soon in like 20 minutes, so we're gonna pull a card. Swanam, swanam. Hello, friend. Thank you, Susan, for sending love. Yeah, it's been a blast. We've got three first-time players, and they're all leaned into the goofy role play, and it's been a blast to get a little crossed and act the city for hours. Oh, that sounds like a good time. Sangha, yee. Okay, this one. Yeah, my older brother has been DMing to the for the family campaign. My dad did it when we were kids, though. Okay, so this is not your older brother was playing with you. I'm guessing. Ah, it sounds amazing. So much love. We love you, dude. This is the card we pulled. Mm. I don't know if I like this card that much because it assaults a part of me that I feel is indestructible, right? And I understand the beauty of the card, and I feel like it is something good to pay attention to. This card seems to be a little bit damaged, but it's the card of completion. The Aspara's hands. Love you too, Sherry. Blue, all of those blues. All of that blue water. There's like light blues on the hands of all of those pink lilies. Aspara's hands. You want to hear what it means? We pulled it upside down, so I'll see if I can read the reverse meaning first. The reverse meaning goes, again, right? I feel like it's an assault to me. As you resist completion, you diminish what you have accomplished. Ease into the knowing that everything is temporary and that endings beget new beginnings. See what I mean? I don't believe in endings or beginnings. I believe in change, infinite change, lovingly so, right? But here, what the rest of the card means achievement and completion. It's the circle instead of the infinity symbol, right? And I guess that's what bothers me about it. Achievement and completion. Gracious and playful female deities called the Apsaras are found sculpted everywhere throughout the great temple complex at Angkor Wat in Cambodia. 9. Exaggerated hand movements borrowed from these captivating sculptures complement the image of pink water lilies that fill a pond facing the famous tower. 9 is the number of completion. The, the achievements of the ancient Khmer culture are undeniable. 3 circles offer a sense of wholeness as you contemplate the completion of this chapter of your life. You have accomplished much, like just as we were talking about Shan as well, gonna have her last class. Maybe this is what I'm supposed to pay attention to. Yeah, okay. I'm liking the card more now. Yes, I'm sorry, Apsara's hands. I didn't mean to be mean. You have accomplished much and realized success in the achievement of your purpose. As you approach the conclusion of this phase, honor the work you have completed and the decisions that have brought you to this moment. It is time now to expand your vision and choose a new path. Each life is filled with beginnings and endings. Even our highest aspirations find completion. Life continues in a manner that is not always predictable, yet, with an attitude of flexibility and a sense of adventure, you will see that new horizons and fresh opportunities are always available. Look to your future with optimism and hope, knowing that magic and new horizons are just around the corner. I agree, but I do resist completion, right? Because I don't feel like I'll ever be done. I don't think there is being done with this life thing, right? Like I have this idealized dream. Part of me wants to read it to all of you friends. A part of me trips out about I'm not supposed to tell you, right? Oh, tell not others what you try to manifest. This one I feel because we shared beautifully the fractal of seeing the fractal, right? And then seeing the fractal, knowing where it is we're going is the only way to get there. See the tree that you want to go to and then walk up to it. So, this is what I wrote in today's manifestation journal. It's the day of dreams. Dreams. So it goes write down what your dreams are and what you will do to bring it into reality. Something like that. I have a dream to see every person on the planet housed, fed, and taken care of. That is like, to me, the medical part of it. I am willing to give my whole life towards this cause. My message will reach all people, and as they listen and we work together, we will see this dream become reality. And the second one, I have a dream of a successful tech company. Meltmore will help the people of the world by acting as a technological extension of themselves. This tech will be used to better all, in capital letters, lives. I will build this day by day. Nothing will stop me. I have a dream of full I have a dream of full freedom, where no obstacle, be it paperwork, people, or finances, could get in the way. I will live that freedom right now until I do not even have to try to experience it. I have a dream of a world of love, where what we are universally. Let me start again. I have a dream of a world of love, where what we are universally known for is our commitment to the truth of love. All beings will be treated like gods because we know that's what we are. I will bring this reality by creating the correct conditions for it to grow. Right? In context of completion. How do we complete stuff like that? Right? How do we complete taking care of everyone in the world? Surely there is a way to complete it. But a part of me, again, to kind of like tie this beautifully into today's stream topic about wanting to take on the hardest of challenges, right? Taking pride in approaching the hardest problems in the world and encouraging one another to do that together, right? That we're not less for it. We're not losing out on something. We're not suffering because we're struggling. We are growing stronger. Growing stronger. Stronger every single day. And it's just a matter of time at this point. It's just a matter of time. So much love is being shared. Got my hands in the dishes, but had to take a break to tell you I'm proud of you and excited for you, Shan. It's been a whole trip being alongside your growth. 1 year on the 3rd of March, right? We have grown a lot in such a short time. Mush, 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 mush. Yeah, we mush it. Yo, Joe, thank you. Thank you for being a part of it. Such a lovely and encouraging friend through it all. I love you. So much love. Yes, love is true. We can see this future we're heading into, right? It's going to be hard. It's going to be the hardest thing we have ever done. The hardest thing we have ever done. And we will do it lovingly because that's who we are, right? That's the pride we take in ourselves. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna do the hardest thing that there is, and I'm gonna love it. As much as I love a gobbledygoo, here he is. Skibop yow, squirm. Oh, forpo scap. I do agree, dude. Lena, Lena, Lana. Vibes in here right now. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, feel it. Go and love some people, yo. Yeah, go and share all of this pent up love you have. Go and give it to someone, yo. Give it to someone that can actually benefit from it. I feel love. I'm feeling so loved. Thank you. Thank you. Give it to your animals. Give it to yourself. Give it to yourself. Go look at yourself in the mirror and be like kissy emoji, kissy emoji. Do that. Do that to yourself. You'll like it. Points at you. You will like it. I like you. Thank you for joining me. Love you so much. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye, friends. If you want to join me, we have a song last week.